Hey guys, it's the Boss Man again. I want to go over a few more roulette strategies for you. YouTube has a restriction on time limit, so you can't just post long videos. So I want to go ahead and continue with some more roulette strategies. Again, if you have any questions or anything, comments, please leave them below, and I will get to you when I can. And we'll go ahead and start. So a lot of casinos, not in Vegas, unless you go to outside of Vegas, but a lot of casinos have $5 minimum tables, $10 on the weekends. I'm a college guy, so I'm not going to have a lot of time or a lot of money to go and play $15 minimums, $10 minimums all the time. So $5 minimums usually during the weekdays. I like to go Monday through Thursday because there's nobody there usually, Monday through Thursday compared to Friday night at 8 o'clock. So, a lot of $5 minimums, so I wanted to make some videos for the minimum bets you can make and what's going on there. So, you have the outside of the roulette wheel, all these spots, plus the columns, and then you have the inside where you bet on the actual numbers themselves. So, with the $5 minimum, usually what that means is $5 minimum outside, so that means you have to put $5. On whatever section you want to bet, you have to put $5. And reds are 5s, whites are 1s, and greens are 25s. So let's say the minimum dollar is 5. Well, I can't put 3 on black and 2 on odd. No, not 5 like that. Have to be 5 per space that you want to bet on. Now what you can do is you can do $5 minimum inside as well. That means you have $5, each one of these $1, and you can bet those 5 anywhere on the inside, and you will meet the table requirement for the minimum bet. So one of the easiest minimum bets, but you can only do the $1 ones unless you find a $1 roulette wheel somewhere. Good luck with that. $1 minimum. So $5 minimum is what I'm going to be playing here. So a basic $5 minimum for $1 bettors that you want to do is, again, probably those double streets. That'll give you the best odds. So as you see here, double street, got 5 of them, $5 minimum. 13, 14, 15 are open. 34, 35, 36. Again, you know, I can move this over and have that row. It doesn't matter what you pick as long as you got 5 out of 6. So you got a 30 out of 38, which is about an 80% chance of winning per roll, which is really good. Doesn't mean you're going to win all the time when you use this strategy, but it's going to give you a pretty good edge for that one spin. So that's a $5 minimum bet that you can make. That would be technically legal by the casino, and every time you win, you would win $1. Now, if you do that with 5s, then every time you win $5. So you win 1 unit, basically, of what you're betting. So that's a $5 minimum inside. Another one, the roulette wheel is very constructed, very intelligently. They have a thing called corner bets. And what that corner bet means, you place the chip on the corner of the numbers. So 1, 2, 4, and 5. I put a chip right here, and I get all 4 of those. That's an 8-to-1 payout or 9 chip return. So if this hits, I will get 8 from the bank and 9 total to receive. Now, since it's only 3 per row, you can't corner every number. See, if I corner there and there, then I got 17 and 14 twice, and then 16 and 13 are there, and then 15 and 18. So you can't double that. So, but another strategy you could do, if you feel that the dealer's random or you don't have really a good clue what's going on the next roll, if you want to take a guess, what you could do is you could do 5 corner bets. So there's my example of 5 corner bets. So basically all the numbers that you see very clearly on the board, I will lose. Like this whole patch I will lose. This whole patch, and the greens obviously. But if any of these, I got 4 numbers per chip, I got 5 chips, so I'm covering 20 numbers. So when I cover those 20 numbers, if any of those hit, it's an 8-to-1 or a 9 return. So let's say that 23 hits, and I got a corner right here. Bam, bam, bam. I lose these 4 to the bank. But this is an 8-to-1 payout. So there you go. So technically I made 4 in profit. And you could space it out to where you could get 6 corner bets without any doubling up of certain numbers in the middle column. See, there you go. I got 6. And then you would win 3. And then you have $24. But, you know, the problem with that is, you know, there's 3, so there's always going to be spaces in between that are going to be left open. But it is another bet you can do that will pay out, I guess, for you. Give you some random numbers. But, you know, let's say if you were to do this, you were to put a corner bet on all of these and just leave this column open. Well, you got 3. And then another 3. So you got 6 total. So, and you're covering these 2 columns worth of numbers. So that is exactly the same as putting 3 and 3. Now, it's a $5 minimum bet, but it's the same point. So, that is what you can do with the corners and everything like that. Another one I wanted to go on, like I was saying, remember when I said you can put, you know, if you put 2 chips on the 2 dozens, and then you got 1 through 24 covered, and if that hits, then you'll win 2 chips. So, you know, let's say that it hits 17. Well, it's 2-to-1 payout, so I'll lose this one, get this from the bank, and that from the bank, which that was just my loss. So then I made 2 chips in profit. Now, those are $5 minimum outside bets, so that's a $10 profit. $10 profit compared to a $1 profit is great, but you're risking $20 instead of $5 per se. So, but I want to go on with that. I found a little better one than that, playing around with the game. So let's say I got these 2 here. You got to put 2 chips on each one. 2 chips. It doesn't matter what 2 out of 3. You can't do this with columns. You can only do this with dozens. So let's say that the dealer is throwing more or less a lot of low numbers. So I can take these low numbers, and then, so I got 4 chips out here for $20. And now I got this dozen open. Well, I don't like this dozen. That's a lot of numbers. So let's say, you know, I can do a double street here. Well, I can move it here. I can move it here. Doesn't matter. But for this video, I'll set it right here. So then I got 1 through 24, then 28 through 33. I call this my insurance in case that number doesn't get low. I got 6 of the 12 numbers over here. Now this again is a 5-to-1 payout or 6 unit return. So let's say that it hits 29. Well, I'm going to lose these 4, put it on that to make it 5, plus I'm going to get 1 from the bank, and that's 6. Now likewise, say I have it there, and I have the 2 there, then let's say that 20 hits. Well, I lose this one, I lose this one, but again, that's a 2-to-1 payout. I can grab 1 more from the bank, and voila. So, it's a little other variation. Instead of doing what I was saying earlier, where you can put, you know, 3 on the high, 2 on the first, then that leaves 13 through 18. Well, if you don't like 13 and 18 open, then, you know, you could do what I same units, but this one, you can pick which dozen you want, or you can do this and have that open, or you can do this. So you can change it around and give you a little better, same probability, but just the different numbers that you're leaving open. So, okay, and another thing, and the last thing I really wanted to go over is if you look at the board this way, and the main thing and number one thing you need to know really about roulette is you're not playing the cards, you're not playing the dealer, you're not playing the dice like you are in the other games. You are playing the wheel. So the wheel is the determinant on what the payout is going to be. So you're playing the wheel. So some pretty cool things you'll see about the wheel. First off, this game is a colorful game, so that's the first thing that drags people's eye attention to. And you'll notice that every single alternate one is red, black, with the greens in the middle. So every color alternates. But odds and evens don't alternate throughout consistently. Highs and lows as well. For example, 18 and 6 are both low, 21 and 33 are both high, 16 and 4 are both even. 23 and 35 are just odd. If you look, other places on the board, 30, 11. So you're playing the wheel. But another cool thing about the setup of this wheel is if you look and you split, say you draw a line right between the zeros here. Now if you look on this half of the wheel, notice 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17. All those low odd numbers are on this side of the wheel. And then it goes from 17 to 20. So then 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36. So, and likewise that's opposite. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, and so on. So it's pretty cool how that works. And now if you look at the layout, the felt here, it doesn't alternate numbers red, black, red, black. See right here, 10 and 11 both 10 and 11 next in sequence, but they're both black numbers. And then, here you got 18 and 19. They're not next to each other, but 18 and 19 are both red. And that's where the switch change is the 17 and 20. You got the doubles here. But another thing I would like to show you that will really get your imagination going and make you think about some more stuff is if you look at the columns. And I didn't mention this in my other video, but you look at the columns here. You look at the numbers, it's not a red, black pattern. Actually, black has a lot of pairings. You see 8 and 11 here, 10 and 13, 17 and 20, 28 and 29, 28 and 31. Red only has this in the 18 and 21, 16 and 19 that do that. So, but the thing I really want to illustrate is if you look at this this third column here, and that's how you number the columns. The column number 1 is the column that has number 1. Column number 2 is the column that has number 2. Column number 3 and column number 3. If you look here on column number 3, look how many reds there are. Quite a few. If you count the blacks, 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 blacks, 8 reds. Likewise, you go to column number 2, there's 4 reds, 8 blacks. And then you go to the column number 1, there's a 6 and 6 for 18 and 18 of each. So let's say that you think the color is going to be black. Well, don't put your money on black per se. Well, if it's going to be black, I got a 14 out of 18% chance that it's either going to hit in this column or this column. Now 33, 24, 15, and 6 are the only black numbers that I don't have covered. But if it's not black, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 reds covered as backup or insurance. So that's another way to look at it, is you can bet on that by the color, by which one is most consistent with the colors. So chew on that. Any questions or comments, or want me to explain further on that, let me know. And then the last one I wanted to show you is again with the wheel. Since you know that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, between 17 and 20 is where the switch of the pattern of the wheel goes. So technically you could do a $1 bet if you wanted. And you could bet 1 on 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Sorry, the chips are too big. 14, 16, 18, 19, that's where the switch happens, 21, 23, 25, 27, 29, 31, 33, 35. Now, with that happening, I now have this part of the wheel completely covered. You can go ahead and check those numbers. All these numbers are completely covered here. So that means if it hits this half of the wheel, I will win. Now I have a $17 bet. Now you can put 1 on one of the greens if you'd like. So if it hits any side of that wheel, I will win a 35-to-1 payout, which is double my money, which is $17. So I got $17, and I got a 50% chance of winning $17. Instead of just putting it on black, even, or this or that, you can put it on this half of the wheel. Since you're playing the wheel, if that half wins, then you win. So any questions, comments, please comment below. Thanks for watching. Check out my other videos.